According to data from Ally, 49% of millennials and 21% of Gen Z sold some or all of their investments so far this year. However, the reasons are clear, if not obvious, and they make sense. When we see data like this and the reaction to it, we read between the lines. It's not just another example of fickle millennials and Gen Zers going all in on something, then bailing when things get tough or something better comes along. So, what was the number one reason why millennials sold? To cover day-to-day expenses. Chalk this up to inflation. Clear, obvious, expected. Next up, we have losing money, or the fear of losing money. We've all been there before. Perfectly rational and actually useful. Without this experience, you can't truly learn the lesson of patience. When the market's down, you buy because, as history repeatedly shows, odds are it will rebound. Cash security is the final key reason. Research also shows some young people entered the market without an emergency fund. Suddenly, inflation hits, things get tight, and maybe you've lost a few bucks, but you still have a decent amount of cash sitting in that investment account. If we're right and this describes a subset of young investors, more power to them for responding to the momentary freakout, taking that cash and creating an emergency fund with it. That's investing 101 in a nutshell. They're not all gone and they'll be back. Maybe most important is that this introduction to investing wasn't just a gamble on meme stocks. They're refreshingly diversified, which tells us new investors caught on quickly to investing's basic principles. Despite the defections, many of these investors are likely still invested and actively investing. Don't ignore that the data says they sold some or all of their holdings. Folks in the some group might still be active. The pandemic introduced them to investing. The economy and related factors shook them out. Or maybe it was just a little profit-taking, panic selling, or both. The bottom line is this. It was foolish to think all or even a majority of pandemic-era new investors would still be around as 2022 ushered in super high inflation, skyrocketing interest rates, and record house prices alongside record rents, just as life returned to normal. The people who bailed, young or otherwise, did so for obvious and generally good reasons.